Irontrader is the last call of the day. Take a look here at Bitcoin, crude oil, natural gas. First of all, take a look here at NVDA. Now, the earnings are coming out tomorrow after the close. Okay, at the end of the video, the support and resistance levels are posted. This video is for information purposes only, not a recommendation to buy or sell any stock market ETF. Please like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Okay, here we have NVIDIA, your daily and your weekly chart. Let me just take that down just a hair there. Okay, now I can see here what we had. We had this big gap down, and we had a nice run up. But you notice as this candle, what I always was telling you about, it was the bottom of this candle right here, okay? 141.88. Now, if we got above that, then we would come here to the bottom of this candle at 143.72. And basically what we hit there is 143.44, just a hair below. That was the next resistance. If we're going to keep on going, then we just look at the top of that candle at 147.23. And then we have your 148.97. You work your way on up. But that's not what happened, okay? So what it is, we had this topping tail, then we had this sideways action, and then when we have this candle here, you take out all those candles here previous to this. See how this one candle here, we took out everything there here? That's never a good sign. And then the next candle, when it can rally up so much higher and never get above the previous day's candle, then she fell right on down. Now today, well, everything is falling down here. The Nasdaq's down 211, but the Dow's back up here again here, and the S&P is pretty much flat. Now, we came down here and we made a low all the way down here to 124.44 level, okay? So when you bring these candles here across, okay, you have 125. Right there, you have a 125 level going right straight across here. So that was pretty much your support level. It came down just a little bit lower than that here, but that's really good. Now, again, we're holding this 200 SMA here on a closing basis. That's going to be very, very key, okay? Now, tomorrow's earnings after the close, I know they're going to have blowout numbers. The only question is what the guidance is going to be. Now, remember, it's never the news that matters. It's always the reaction to the news. Now, CNBC is going to have Jensen on a show at 7 p.m. after the earnings, and that could be also a good market mover here if we have this bottoming tail situation here, okay? So let's just see how this all shakes out. So what we want to watch on the downside is you want to watch this 200-day 126.21 on a closing basis. That's the key. And then we'll come down here to today's low. You're looking at that 124.44 level. Just call it that 125 level. That's what we're really looking for. If that's lost, we just follow these candles down here. You got 120.76 level here. We have 119.19, and we have 116.70. You have your big retest down there at 113.01 level, okay? Now, the upside here, well, we got to get back to this 21-day, 129.40. If we can, then we'll come up to that 50-day at 134.25, and then possibly that 8-day at 135.69. And then we have a 100-day right above that at 136.37. But we got to see how this all shake out. Now, a lot of times these earnings here, and except for Meta had really blowout numbers, and then the stock just kept on rallying right on up here. It got all the way up to 740.91, but if you look at Meta today, you're sitting at 661 here, okay? So a lot of stuff is just, even though they have blowout numbers, it might run. But again, this could be a market mover here situation. If they can do something more than just have blowout numbers, they're going to need something a little bit more, okay? So realistically, what you want to watch is that 200 SMA, 126.21. If that is lost there, you probably eventually will come down and retest that 113.01. The upside is you got to watch that 21-day, 129.41, and then possibly 134.25, and then we can get to that 8-day and possibly even that 100-day. But we got to see how this is all going to shake out. So what I am is I've been long for this stock for a long, long time, years. This is a really, really good trade here. And then see now this is where I bought it. I didn't buy it here, but this is where I bought it when we had that higher high situation, and it rallied up nicely. But when I see this, I was looking for the bottom here. I might have sold it just a little bit short. I sold it at 142, okay, and it got as high as 143.44. But that was a really nice, good a long kind of a situation here. Now I still have looking for a trade. I trade this daily because it's a really good scalper. All I need is a couple points and you got some money in your pocket here. But again, this is really, really a good trade. And I think for the long run, I think it'll be very, very good. Now, again, it could pull back all the way there very, very easily. And then if you even actually look at the chart here, we had this level all the way down here to 90 if that 113 is lost here. But let's just see how this all shakes out. Now, here we look here on the old weekly chart, okay? And we're pretty much, right between that 50-day, 121.01, and that 8-day, we're sitting there at 133.40, and then we 137.13 level. So we're really kind of just trading in between that range. This is going to be very key, that 121 here by Friday. Okay, you really need to hold that. If not, you're going to be tested at 113 very easily. And then we also can just bring these price channels down here across here. See how you have that 195, then we come down here to that 90.69 level right down there. Okay, so you can just bring this channel, these price channels right across, and those are going to be your support levels. Okay, so we got to see how this all going to shake out. What I don't like is you have a high, lower high, lower high, lower high here on the weekly chart. That's really never good. Plus, this time of the year here, if you just look at a seasonality chart, really mid to end February, it's a sell-off till you get to the March situation. Now, another easy way to trade this is with TQQQ. That's a basket of everything. It's got NVDA and Tesla and Amazon, Meta, Microsoft, Apple, everything. The only thing that's working really today is the Apple, and I just think because Cook there, he made a kind of deal with the T-Man there. They're going to spend about $500 billion here building stuff right here in the U.S., and I think that's going to work out really, really good for them there. So, but again, just watch this 200-day, and let's see how tomorrow shakes out as far as the day goes, as far as earning. But as long as we can hold this key 200-day here, this is still looking not too bad. Okay, let's take a look here now at Bitcoin. Okay, here we have Bitcoin, your daily chart. Now, you can see here where we just had this big sell-off here. Now, we had this pull here, and we had this bull flag situation and descending channel. Now, it never really played out because, remember, I just kept saying it's going longer and longer, man. The flag is on the floor here, okay? I mean, something isn't working. And then it just basically turned to a sideways action. But you notice that you couldn't get through this resistance. See how this 50-day and the 21-day, see how strong that resistance is? See, people that say, oh, charts are after looking. Well, not really. They just don't know how to trade the charts. You got to look at those resistant areas. And when you see this, like this 21-day that crosses over that 50-day, that's not bullish, okay? That tells you that it's going to be going lower. And that's what happened yesterday, okay? So when you look at this here, see how it goes. Did it go a little bit above the 50-day? Yes, but most of the time, look at where it went, just like right into it and just couldn't do it. But all that matters is it closes above, okay? If it closes above, well, then you got a different whole scenario. We could take it up higher. But since it didn't, that tells you it's going to go lower. And then yesterday we had this candle that put in a lower low, a lower high. The 8-day stopped in this track, and now look what happened. Okay, now here's what we're looking for on the upside. We're looking for this key level, this 89,926. You got to really reclaim that, okay? And then the next level of resistance is going to be right there at 96. At 89,525, and then we have this 91,455 here, and then we have this gap. Okay, I hate these freaking gaps. Okay, 92,755, and you look at the bottom of that candle, 93,570, and then we got to run right into that 8-day at 95,058 level. Okay, so that is your upside here. But if we can get at least back above that 100-day, maybe take a sideways action, and maybe we can get it back up again. So we got to see how this is all going to shake out here now. The downside, you're going to be watching today's low, that 85,820 level, okay? So what we did is we went just a little bit lower than what this area is right here. But this is the candle I was pointing out here, okay? This is 85,890, okay? This is what we're looking here as a support level, okay? So always look to the left of the chart. Everything you need to know is right there. See that? 85,820. And then what do we have here? Okay, 85,890. So again, when you have these big numbers, I mean, these are big numbers. This is like $8 or $10 kind of stuff here. This is 89,000 kind of thing. So, you're not going to be exact on most of that stuff. But what I wanted to show you here is if it starts losing that today's low, then right here, this is what we're looking for. This is that gap. Okay, 86.70, and then look to the top of this candle here, 77.930. There's your gap, and there's your fill. And these are going to be your next support levels. So once we start losing these levels, there's nothing here to stop it except for that gap, okay? And then there's the fill. And then we're going to have this 200 SMA. Now, if it comes all the way down to this 200 SMA here and it holds it, that I think would be a huge buying opportunity because look at your chart. Everything is getting to an oversold condition kind of right there. So if it happens to get down, that'll be way oversold. And this would be a good buying opportunity to take it right on up. Now, I trade the IBIT. The reason I like the IBIT is because it's one-to-one with Bitcoin. and it's the spot price, it's not the futures. Okay, so that's why I say now BITI. Well, that's working great. You know what I'm saying? That's a shorty. So don't be afraid to do a little short ski. If you do it once or twice like that, you can make a couple of bucks there. Very, very nice. So what we want to watch on the upside, just watch that key 100-day, watch that retest at 91,455, and then basically if we can get through the gap in the fill, that 8-day is going to be very, very key. Downside, we start losing this level at today's low, at 85, 820 level here. Then we're going to start getting that gap, that fill, and that 200 SMA here. Okay, let's take a look here now at crude oil. Okay, here we have the crude oil daily chart all stretched out here. Let me see here. Yeah, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, so what we have here, we had 3 up here and then down, 3 up here and then down. But high, lower high, lower high. Okay, it's falling wedge. That's not good. Okay, and then looking today, kaboom, down she goes. Okay, so today we put in that low of a 68 level. Okay, so what we're watching here is on the left here is going to be that a 68.59. So far it's holding that. Here's your next support level at that 68.42 level, and then we're going to come right here to the bottom of this candle at 66.98. Just bring these price channels over and makes life a lot easier. Okay, so then you have 66.53 level, and you just work yourself all the way on down here. Okay, until we get all the way here to this 65.27 level. Now, this is the big retest. Okay, I'm going to show you a weekly here in a second, but we start losing that 65.27, she's going to get pretty ugly. Okay, there's no question about that. Now, again, here on the upside, what we want to watch here, you're sitting at 69.07 right now. What we want to do is just go to the left of the chart here. This is your next resistance upside, 66.33 level. Okay, and we can come back up to here. This is that 70.12 level here. That was that very, very nice right there hit. And then if we can get above that, then we're going to have that 8-day. But if you look at this price, look at it. You're below the 8-day. 8 days all crossed over. You're below the 100-day, the 21-day, big crossover, 50-day, 200-day. There's nothing bullish about this chart whatsoever. Okay, so it doesn't matter what somebody says on TV about this or where it's going or what's got. Just look at the chart. Okay, this is ass ugly, man. This looks lower. Now, I'm short the SEO. I added to the position today, so I'm going to see where we stand here. So when those watch the API report at 4:30, and then those futures tonight at 6 p.m. Okay, let's take a look here now on a weekly chart. Okay, here we have a weekly of crude. Okay, now you can see here where this is really not good. Okay, so look at all this, how this is. Okay, see all these topping tails. Okay, that's never good. And look at this week here, into the 21-day, and then come right on down. Okay, so this is your retest here to 66.53, and then we can come all the way down to the bottom of this candle here. You're looking at 65.27 level. Okay, so that's really what you're looking at here, like in a short run. But again, when we keep on rolling this out here, okay, what do we got here? Okay, see, you got 63.64 if we start losing that 65 level. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to come right here to the bottom of this candle here. Okay, you got 62.43 level here. Okay, we got 61.74, but this is where you're going to be going right here. Is going to be right there. That's going to be the 57.25 level. That's going to be a big retest there, okay, if this is all lost. So once we start getting and we start losing that 60 level there, that 66.53, all we do is just bring the candles all the way on over here, but that's going to be your big target all the way down to 57.25. Now, that might be a great buying opportunity if it does get there, but we got to see. But when you look at it, you see this chart here, okay, and you see red, 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 all the way on down here. This is nothing bullish about this at all, okay? This is what you call bullish, okay? When you have, now this is weekly, so you have a weekly high, another high, another high, and another high. See, that's bullish right there, okay? Even like this scenario here where you had the big long, but you notice that it held that 200-day, and then again, this closed above it, and that gave us a nice, good long situation. But when you see this, there's nothing here. You got lower lows, lower highs. This just tells me that this is going lower. I just don't see any way that says that this is going to be going higher. Okay, let's take a look here now at natural gas. Okay, here we have natural gas, your daily and your weekly, right on top of each other. Now, I was telling you about watching this key level right here. Now, actually, UNG, I jumped into the UNG because it got some life into this thing here. Now, UNG had a low of 21.14 and a high of 21.54. I scalped 50 cents out of the UNG today. And I'm trading 5,000 shares, so that's not really that bad of a day here in natural gas. Now, what I was pointing out here is the top of this candle at 409, and then the bottom of this candle at 414. That was your gap and your fill, okay? So what did we go to today, okay? We went to 418, and where are we sitting at now? 4.318. So you're sitting right at that resistance level at 414. Okay. So now if we can get above that, then we look at today's high, that 418, and then we're going to come over to the top of this candle here. You're looking at 420 level. That's going to be your next resistance. And then we can just follow this up here. 430, we got 432, and then 436. 439, 444, and there's your big retest at 447. Now, again, as long as this 8-day is holding, we're in good shape. See how yesterday it came down, but where did it close? Above the 8-day. Today came down, made a higher low. Where did it close? So far, above that 8-day. Okay, so you want to watch those futures at 6 p.m. and we'll see how this all shakes out. But right now, see, this is looking actually bullish. Now, I don't hold natural gas there overnight. I just take the scalp, got the 50 cents, boom, that's good. Now we wait till tomorrow trade another day. It's just that simple. Now, that 8-day is going to be very key support, looking at 404. If that's lost, we just come to today's low, 3.93. Then we have 3.90. We come up here at 3.82 level, 3.72, and then we run right into that 50-day at that 3.66 and 3.60. Okay, but right now, as I say, as long as you're above that 8-day, it's sideways to up. Below that 8-day, it's sideways to down. Now, let's look at this weekly chart. Now, you can see here where we had this high right here. This was that 4.36, basically, which is right there, okay? So we made this higher high of 4.47, and now we have this so far, and they call it just an inside week. So we got to see how that all shakes out. But again, if we can start cracking that 4.47 level, then this is going to be your target. It's going to be right here. This is that 4.75 level. And then you come to the bottom of this candle here. Okay, you're looking at 4.90 level. And then we just take these candles all the way on up here at 5.36. Now, I think natural gas is going to be a really good trade this year. T-Man, he wants to be the king of LNG, but he wants to be also the king of oil. But the problem with king of oil is he wants to produce much more, which is going to take the price down. Now, natural gas, I think it's just going to do the opposite, because now you're going to be filling up these LNG tankers, and you're going to be shipping this stuff out. That's the key level to it, is shipping out. Now, if we have a hot summer, this could rally up very, very nicely. So UNG is my favorite trade for the long, KLD for the short, but there was just no short there today. But once we started rolling it here up a little bit, then we started going up here, and then I said, I'm going to jump in that LNG, and just if I can make a little scalp ski, we're going to be good. But so just take a look at this weekly chart, see how sideways action this was, and then you start building momentum. The more longer you go sideways, just like we had with Bitcoin, the longer you go sideways, then you get that momentum, okay? And then she's going to be, if she breaks, she's going to break up hard. But then remember, if we can get above that 4.47 level, then you're going to come right to that 4.75 here and that 4.9 level, okay? So there's a lot of good targets here on the upside, because you have to look all the way up here, okay? You got a 7.60 level here, and you can march that thing all the way up to 10 very, very easily. Okay, that's what I got for you now. I'll be back here tomorrow morning. Remember, the API report for crude will be out today at 4:30. And, the market is coming off here, but this is no surprise. Just look at a seasonality chart. Don't listen to all these yahoos on this TV here. Just look at a seasonality chart. It's the same thing for the last 20 freaking years. Okay, you rise up into February, okay, it sells off to March, and then everybody buys it back up again, and you go into summer. I say, that's all you got to do. Look at a chart. It's all sitting right there. It's no magic, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. So, all right, trade what's in front of you, not what you want.